There's many cool things about lost media. There's the hunt, the collective effort, just coming together to solve what sometimes feels like an unsolvable mystery. And if you're lucky, there's the rewarding conclusion. At least most of the time it feels rewarding. Other times it's painfully underwhelming. The funniest for me has to be the evil farming game, which ended up being this YouTuber Vinesauce just spitballing a plot for Body Harvest Moon, and the original guy looking for it had just hallucinated it into a game that everyone was looking for. One thing I'm pretty sure is that everyone has their own personal piece of lost media. One that is so obscure that there's no way to ever find it, let alone get others interested. It's that weird show you saw once as a kid, or a movie, or a game, or a book. In my case, it's a game, from one of the most popular movie franchises of all time, and yet at the same time it's more obscure than an unreleased indie game from North Korea. In the late 90s, Disney was the king, a pioneer of entertainment, after teaming up with that up-and-coming 3D film studio Pixar and creating the first full-length computer-animated film, Toy Story. Everyone knows this, right? You know what else everyone knows? Whenever a children's movie or TV show is released, there's a ton of tie-in merchandise. So as a kid, you'd watch the movie, love the movie, and then go on to consume everything related to that movie. You reach a high you'll be chasing for the rest of your life like some sort of nostalgia junkie. The 2000s marked the pretty cool start of what is currently humanity's most important invention, the internet. I know it was around before then, but during that decade, the internet would have its highest highs and its lowest lows. It saw the peak of the dot-com bubble, but also the creation of social media. It also got pretty fast, for some other things. It was a time when the internet was still pretty new, and there were so many different forums and websites to explore. But not for me. I was a small child. The only website I could go to was Disney.com. When I was a kid, I don't think I understood the D in Disney. I thought it was like this weird G or something, so when I typed it out for the first time, I didn't get why Disney.com wouldn't load. I guess I'd never heard the word Disney out loud before, or maybe I was just stupid, because I still am. So with the internet, my website restriction, and my love for Toy Story, it was only natural that I would end up playing Toy Story 2 Rescue Woody as my first video game probably ever. The game was a Flash-based 2D platformer where you'd play as Buzz, dodging obstacles like balls and rats in order to beat the stage and reach the next levels. I remember being pretty terrible at this game and even scared to play the rat levels, so my dad would step in and take over for me. All in all, it's a pretty nice memory to have, but what happened to the game? As some might remember, in December of 2020, Adobe decided to axe Flash Player, and shortly after, browsers would also cut their support for Flash. So the internet's huge collection of browser-based Flash games would, in and of themselves, become lost media. There exist a few preservation efforts, but still, a ton of games are bound to become lost media. This Toy Story game, being a tie-in game for the Toy Story 2 movie, was lost long before that. 2002 to 2003, according to its Lost Media Archive page. It would make sense that Disney would swap out their older games with tie-in games for their newer movies. So, what does the search look like? Well, I can't say there's much of a search. There's this video, which isn't much, and there's a Lost Media Archive page and 2 Reddit posts. Let's take a look. Most of the information contained in the Lost Media Archive page are things I've already mentioned. This is the whole page. Apparently the levels are Al's Toy Barn, an elevator shaft, Al's apartment, and the airplane. Obviously the location's from Toy Story 2, but I'm pretty sure there was also a sewer level somewhere, and there's a screenshot. The only piece of evidence that seems to exist on the internet about this game. All those memories reduced to this single image. On June 2nd, 2015, VNader posts, Toy Story version Buzz Lightyear platformer to the Tip of My Tongue subreddit. His post reads, "There are a ton of sentimental details that I'll skip for now." I can relate to that. So here are the game's details. Played it about 13 to 16 years ago. 2D platformer, 2D but with 3DS images for characters and setting, meaning pre-rendered 3D graphics. You play as Buzz Lightyear, the Toy Story version, not the animated series version, running through Andy's room and sewers for 2 levels each. If you pick up a battery, you can shoot lasers that can kill enemies. Enemies included army men, I think, yo-yos on ladders, and rats in the sewer. I think that it was on the main Disney website, don't think it was Disney Channel, but got removed around 12 years ago, I think. Happy hunting, Reddit. There was little to no hunting. It's interesting that this game description matches more of what I remember playing, but some things don't add up. This post recalls there being 2 levels, Andy's room and the sewers, but the Lost Media Archive page lists different level locations, and this screenshot shows Al's Toy Barn. Could it be that there were 2 different games instead of 1? Anyways, continuing with the Reddit post, it only garnered 3 comments, but by the looks of them, there was a vague awareness of Toy Story games, but no one remembered playing the same game V-Nader did, at least not for another 8 years. On July 16, 2023, user VGWFNick posted, Toy Story 2 Flash/Shockwave game from the early 2000s to r/Toy Story. The post copies the text from Lost Media Archive, and this time around, various users recalled playing the game. I remember playing this. I have distinct memories of this. Don't think I ever got far, but it's always stuck with me. Every few years I search around for a playable version, but still no luck yet. I'm with you there, Mike Fonts. I've been on the hunt for this game, or a game like it. I'll do some more digging, but I played something that looks exactly like this on a DVD I checked out from the library when I was 4 or 5, 2009 or so. Unfortunately, this Reddit post, despite having a few more people recall the game's existence, led nowhere. And that's it. Like I said, there's not much of a search at all. If anything, it's just a couple of people online recalling a game from their childhood, with a couple more people commenting that they too recall the game and would wish to find it. So could this game be found? At this point, the only possibility would be 1. Making more people aware of this lost game and hopefully finding others who played it and are interested in hunting it down, and number 2, looking into this library DVD thing. The game might have disappeared from the internet, but it could still be out there in the form of physical media. Chances are someone has this game on an old DVD with a bunch of other Flash games. I remember as a kid, a friend let me borrow a disc with thousands of old Flash games. Some were terrible, but you had the classics like the one polar bear hitting penguins with a stick, and I can't remember any others. So maybe that's a possibility. Those discs must be dusty and probably scratched, but for now they're my best bet. So yeah, that's the lost Buzz Lightyear Flash game. In my opinion, it's a pretty hard piece of media to find, but probably not harder than the original Jeff the Killer image or Hitogata, but without anyone looking for it, it might as well be impossible to find it. Hopefully some of you watching remember playing this game from your childhood and would like to play it again for old time's sake. And if that's the case, I'd appreciate if you would share this video. If you like this video, feel free to like or subscribe or leave a comment. I'm still trying to figure out YouTube, and I'm not really sure what type of videos I should make, but this has been on my mind for several years now, and I just wanted to share it.